The path of the awakened person. This path is a narrow way that few people want to tread, for it is not famous and has not been extolled in books or lectures, attended by thousands of people. However, it was trod upon by many people in the past, for it accords with the teaching of the sutras. The awakened person refers to a person who sincerely seeks the peaceful life by developing their innate wisdom and compassion, then shares with others their own experience. In this article, I will use the term awakened person with its general meaning and not as a reference to the Buddha, whose name also means the awakened one. I dedicate this article for all those who have awakened to the knowledge that they have the potential for enlightenment, which is the innate ability to transform oneself into a completely pure, wholesome, and wise being. How do we know that? Developmental Buddhism masters have said, the primordial essence of the mind is pure and silent. Why is a pure mind also a silent mind? The mind of the ordinary person is often attached to events that originate in the external world or inside the body. When they see a glorious sunrise, they want to enjoy it and take a photo. When they see the rays of a setting sun reddening the blue sky and white clouds, they got inspired to write a poem. When the rain falls in autumn, they remember the past and feel longing and regret. When they see their image in the mirror in the morning, they notice gray hair and feel sad. When they feel unsteady on their feet or even fall, they know that they are getting old. When others show them high regards, they feel pleasure. When others show them neglect, they feel sorrow. When they see others pass away, they feel sad as they know that they will also depart one day, alone, without anyone at their side. From these reflections, we gradually develop the understanding that we can only achieve true peace and serenity if we stop letting events blow us away. We realize that only a mind that is silent and undisturbed by the world can be pure, free from longing, regret, joy, and sorrow. We decide to seek refuge in the Buddha. This is a sign that our intellect has awakened. This awakening will need to be sustained by a resolve to follow the path, without delay, hesitation, or turning back, even in the face of unfavorable conditions. This resolve is equally required if we wish to achieve our goals in the worldly life or the spiritual life. In many ways, we may experience more obstacles and challenges on the spiritual path. The resolve to leave behind the worldly life, which the Buddha viewed as covered by the dust of the world, is represented by the act of leaving home and severing desires. In the longer discourse with Sakkaka, the Buddha said, "Here, I give Vasana, before my enlightenment, before I attained the right full enlightenment, while I was still only an enlightened bodhisattva, I thought, household life is crowded and dusty. Life gone forth is wide open. It is not easy, while living in a home, to lead the holy life, utterly perfect and pure, as a polished shell. Suppose I shave off my hair and beard, put on the yellow robe, and go forth from the home life into homelessness. Later, Agivasana, while still young, a black-haired young man endowed with the blessing of youth, in the prime of life, though my father and mother wished otherwise and wept with tearful faces. I shaved off my hair and beard, put on the yellow robe, and went forth from the home life into homelessness. When the Buddha was alive, those who met the Buddha and heard the Dharma from him often decided immediately to renounce their home life. They may have sowed many beneficial seeds in past lives that enabled them to meet the Buddha in this present life. And then, after a short time practicing in seclusion in the forest, attain the perfectly pure life or the state of arahathood, dwelling in nirvana while still alive. There were others who awakened and decided to take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha for the rest of their life. They followed the precepts applicable to lay people, gave alms, and performed good deeds. The result for them is reincarnation in a heavenly realm to enjoy the merits they have accumulated. However, as they still lived the home life, they were not able to attain the perfectly pure life. The Buddha often stressed that desire is the source of limitless suffering, not only in this life, but also in endless future lives, as it is a cause for reincarnation. Immediately upon attaining enlightenment, the Buddha uttered the following verses. I have run through a course of many births, looking for the maker of this dwelling, and did not find it. Painful is birth again and again. Now you are seen, the builder of the house. You will not build the house again. All your rafters are broken. Your ridge pole is destroyed. My mind, set on the attainment of nirvana, has attained the extinction of desires. Dhammapada, chapter 11, verses 153-154, translated by S. Beck. In the root of all things, Sutta, the Buddha said, all things are rooted in desire. Desire, craving, and greed have similar meaning and effect. For this reason, the Theravada school of Buddhism identifies the perfection of renunciation among the 10 virtues of perfection. In the longer simile of the hardwood sutta, the Buddha used the metaphor of a person who seeks the hardwood to teach that the first step on the spiritual path is the renunciation of home life. The second step, the practice of discipline. The third step, the practice of stillness. The fourth step, the practice of wisdom. And the fifth step is the outcome, liberation, which is like the heart of the wood of the perfectly pure life. Going further back in time, we had the story of Vipassi Buddha, an ancient Buddha who lived in a time when the human lifespan was tens of thousands of years. The life of Vipassi Buddha presented many similarities with the life of Sakyamuni Buddha. He came into embodiment from the Tusita heaven into the royal palace of King Banduma. He enjoyed all pleasures of life while growing up. After he witnessed an old, ill, and dead person, he then met an ascetic monk. He decided to leave the royal palace when his wife just had their first child. In summary, a truly awakened person needs to sever desires and forego greed in order to reach the final destination of the spiritual path. This is the path that all Buddhas of the past, present, and future have and will follow. Following on their footsteps were bhikkhu disciples of the Buddha, and then Buddhist Zen masters from India, China, Vietnam, etc. Developmental Buddhism has put forward the figure of Vimalakirti to demonstrate that lay people can also follow the spiritual path to its completion. This is correct in principle, as any person has the potential for enlightenment, as they all have Buddha nature. However, the reality is that in all of Chinese Zen history, there is only the instance of the family of layperson Pang Jushi, consisting of himself, his wife, son, and daughter, who conquered death and could stay or leave the world as they wish. In Vietnamese Zen history, there is only the instance of Tuệ Trung Thuận Sĩ, who attained enlightenment as a lay person and left the world in awakeness. Besides these few examples, all those who attained enlightenment had renounced the home life. Let's not generalize by saying that all those who renounce the home life will become enlightened, because this statement is not correct. Why is this so? Renouncing the home life is a necessary condition, as is the first awakening. It is not the only condition, nor a sufficient one. We might say that a person who renounces the home life has completed half the spiritual path. Why is this so? Once a person becomes ordained, they have the code of precepts to remind, guard, and protect them from falling back into the burning pit of worldly life. Such a person would fit into the pattern that all Buddhas have taught. Not to do wrong, to do good, and to purify one's mind. That is the teaching of the awakened ones. Today, I have introduced you to a path that ancient Buddhas, Sakyamuni Buddha, and Buddhist masters have all followed. This is a straight and direct path that starts with renouncing the home life and then leading a pure life governed by a code of precepts. In regards to mental defilements, fetters, underlying traumas, greed, anger, and delusion, etc., we then gradually attained disillusionment, dispassion, cessation, peace, insight, awakening, and nibbana. Masters Hall, March 30th, 2021. Triệt Như.